all the willingness to make the world a better place. My name is Joyce, and welcome to Monday's edition of Radio Info. Today with me on the show, I have spokespersons from the Nigerian Biosafety Management Agency, and they are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring proper regulation of modern biotechnology, particularly how the science affects our food, just simply put. We're going to quickly go for a break. When we come back, they're joining us. They're going to be live. They're joining through the magic of Zoom, and we're hoping that this is as smooth as we can pray for. I'll say don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. My name is Joyce. You're on the sunny side, and we're in Nigeria Info.
Activate. We are radio active on 99.3.
My name is Joyce, and welcome. I would love for my guests to say hello. They're joining in from Abuja, their office in Abuja. Onyeka Nwosu and Gloria Ogbaki. Onyeka Nwosu is the principal scientific officer, and Gloria Ogbaki, head information and public relations personnel. I would say a very warm welcome to you, lady and gentlemen. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Gloria Ogbaki, Head Information and Public Relations of the National Biosafety Management Agency.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, Nigerians. This is Onyeka Nwosu, Principal Scientist with the National Biosafety Management Agency. Thank you.
A pleasure having the both of you here. So my first question should be trying to establish some social awareness, so things that we already see in society today. I think it's just a fair groundwork. I remember growing up, and I would walk past trees that bear fruits in the streets, and even as children, you can just pick up a fruit and eat on your way home or on your way to school. We don't see that anymore, and I even have personal experiences of just buying food. You wash them, you throw the seed without paying much attention to where it lands. You come back 3 weeks later and you find a very beautiful shrub, like no effort put. And I think that generation or that phase of life has phased out. I want to ask both of you, but maybe specifically the scientist. Do we have a food bank in Nigeria? A seed bank, pardon me.
Yes, thank you so very much. Let me start from your opening statement. You said the issue of seeds being thrown out and it goes on, it has faded away. No, it has not faded away. It is still there. It's try it, throw your seeds. The only thing is if it is on the fertile soil and all the factors that we allow it necessary to grow, it grows. It hasn't faded out. This agriculture is still there. So then back to your question. Yes, we have an agency that is in charge of a seed bank in Nigeria, the NAGRAB, National Center for Genetic Resources and Biotechnology, under the National Biotechnology Research and Development Agency. They are in charge of seed bank in Nigeria. And also, we have an agency of government that also regulates seed, which is the National Agricultural Seed Council under the Ministry of Agriculture. So when it comes to issue of seed, when it comes to issue of preserving and conserving our seed varieties, it's well institutionalized in Nigeria.
Okay, so I'm going to disagree with you about the seeds growing randomly. It's not the same. I've attempted a backyard garden now as an adult. It's not the same as it used to be. And I guess the Nigerian public can speak to whether they agree or not, or at least speak to their experiences. Okay, so your agency, the Nigerian Biosafety Management Agency, what is your fundamental duty?
Okay, the National Biosafety Management Agency, an agency established under the Act, National Biosafety Management Agency Act 2015 as amended, is saddled with the responsibility of regulating modern and emerging biotechnology and the products thereof, such as GMOs. in view of preventing any adverse effect to the environment, to plant, to animal, and to human health. And then with the new amendment, we are also to ensure biosecurity in Nigeria. So NBMA is a government agency saddled with the responsibility to regulate biotechnology. Let me, on this note, tell you, just like you know that any technology, any process is expected to be regulated, including what we are doing. The media is also regulated, so as the biotechnology is regulated. And we are saddled with that responsibility to make sure that the process and the product arising from modern biotechnology are safe for human consumption, for the environment, and the entire biodiversity.
Okay. Then let's go into GMOs. Do you think, as a scientist, considering every other informing factor, we need GMOs in Nigeria?
So thank you so much. When you talk of issue of GMOs is not just, it's an option among several others. It's not just that it is the key, it's an option among several others. This is a technology, this is a global technology. The world is growing with that technology. And mind you again, Nigeria as a government has a policy, a government policy, that's the National Policy on Biotechnology, that promotes the use of advanced biotechnology in ensuring food security, environmental conservation, and health improvement. And for the fact that government has this policy that this can be adopted to help the bioeconomic growth of the country, they also find it very necessary to put up a mechanism to regulate that process. And that is why you have us here doing the job as adequate as required.
Okay. The adequacy of it is really probably what may be contentious here, because I think the first question that just comes to mind would be, how do you know this is safe? And who is in charge of determining safety? What is the process that takes us from unknown to the comprehension of this particularly genetically modified organisms or seeds, to the point where we get to the declaration of safety? What's the process, and who's funding it, or who's in charge of it? Maybe you decide which one is a better uptake for you.
Thank you so much. It's an opportunity to make that clarification. When you talk of biosafety, biosafety is not a Nigerian thing. It's not an African thing. It's a global protocol. A global protocol that almost all the countries in the world have signed and adopted it. In fact, it is based on that GMOs is among the most regulated products in the world. So, and that is what Nigeria has also domesticated in our own process. So in terms of GMO, there are process of ascertaining safety, which is combining what we call a risk or safety assessment process, which we look at the environmental safety assessment, the food safety assessment, and at the same time, the socio-economic consideration. All these things are put in place, and there is a process. And mind you, for Nigeria, we do both process regulation and product regulation, meaning that for you to even kickstart the technology, the process of the research itself, you are thoroughly regulated by the agency. Up to the point that a product comes out, you are thoroughly regulated. And this is what you will see in other countries. So there are processes, institutional processes. You make your application and your intention that this is supposed to be done. We do certifications of the laboratories that do it. We even do certification of the personnel. We have we set up what we call institutional biosafety committee. So for you, the institution you are even doing it, there must be an IBC, institutional biosafety, that reports to the agency, who will even evaluate.
We're having a little network glitch here. It's just frozen, so we're going to give the moment a moment to recalibrate, and hopefully we're able to. Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Please go ahead.
So for research process, before it even comes to fruition, that is what we call commercialization. It takes a longer process of regulation because you will do what we call confined field trial, where you in a case where is a plant or a seed now you modify it will pass through what we call confined field trial process. And this confined field trial process is what is thoroughly regulated, where data are generated, where assessment on the environment is thoroughly generated. It is even when it has passed that level, which can take up to 3 years or plus, that it can advance to, in some cases, what we call multi-locational trial, where it will now be tried within the climatic regions of Nigeria. It is when it has passed that stage that you also make an application and we have certified that it is safe, it has passed this process, you can come up for a commercial release process, which we will now involve also the public to make their interventions. But mind you, in all the processes of regulation, the public is involved. Independent risk assessment is involved because we set up what we call the ad hoc National Biosafety Committee and the ad hoc National Biosafety Technical Subcommittee made up of the experts, independent reviewers who are also part of the process. So it's a strict and a critical process. It's not just what you wake up Sunday and say, this is safe for just saying safe. It must pass through a process that is recognized globally, international standard. And let me even mention before you do, you know, for you to see when we say that it is thoroughly regulated, do you know if there's a product, for instance, in Brazil, is commercialized, before it has passed this through thorough process. Then if you want to bring it into Nigeria, we will subject it into the same process before we allow it into our environment. So this is to tell you the processes involved and how strict they are.
Okay, so is this what may have informed the DG, Dr. Yemisi Asagra, at a recent interview where she said we need GMOs for food security? Do you think this is what may have informed that?
So maybe you people misunderstood her or take it out of context. So I know what she was trying to say, that GMO is part of the options. And as an option, it provides an opportunity for food security. In terms of, because some of the approved ones are, one is pest resistance, and there's one that has moderate growth in drought environment, meaning that considering the fact that how pests attack the yield of crop production, and you have such technology which have passed through a process that has certified it safe, it can contribute to food security. So that is the area she was mentioning, and people may have taken it out of context.
Okay. Now, I'm going to touch soon on pests and mutation. You're a scientist. I want to believe you fully comprehend what that is, pests and mutation, or weeds mutating. Now, as far as regulation goes, you say Nigerians know. It's not obvious to us that Nigeria is aware of your body, the Nigerian Biosafety Management Agency. And when you say options, it is not obvious that the Nigerian has an option. I don't know if you have been to the market, but now we are seeing in large and overwhelming quantities seedless foods that have no seeds in them. Are you here today establishing that those foods with no seeds in them or infertile seeds in them have been approved by the Nigerian Biosafety Management Agency? Is that your statement?
So thank you so much for bringing up this issue. And let me use this opportunity to make it very and explicitly clear to Nigerians. Not everything you see is GMO. Not everything you see that does not have seed is GMO. People have taken it into different concepts. And we have an issue where a lot of people who does not even know what science is all about talk more of on the media saying things that are not right. This is not true. Let me tell you, in normal hybrid technology, normal conventional hybrid technology in agriculture, you can have a plant with no seed. That does not mean it's GMO. So people often call everything GMO, but it is not. So GMO, it's a living organism whose DNA has been altered.
Okay.
Then it might be modified, just like I said, maybe for pest resistance. And let me even tell you, also insulin that we use for diabetes is a product of GMO because it's a bioengineered to make insulin. It's a microorganism that has been bioengineered to make insulin that we use in health. So these are issues. It's not that when you see something that doesn't have seed, it is GMO. Let me tell you, my dear, do you know that if you get the GMOs that are approved, specifically when it has not been altered for maybe nutritional or more something that may give it another look, if you see a genetically modified organism and the non-conventional one of that variety that has been modified, they are the same. They are the same. I've been in a situation where somebody was saying that he ate a watermelon that does not have seed, that this is that GMO, that, oh my God, even in the world, there is no GM watermelon. Most of the fruits, there is no GM globally. Watermelon, no GM watermelon. So when people come to Nigeria and tell you that they eat a watermelon, that it is GM, no, it's not. Not everything that it is GM.
So the people who may have complained about, pardon me, the people who may have complained about the texture or the flavor of the changes to their foods are probably or should not be bothered with the genetic modification of it. Because so what in that instance could be the problem?
Very good, very important, because I always tell people when they discuss these issues of GM safety, which we are into, that they misconstrue that there are a lot of other safety issues.
Could you name
that
it,
people
please?
should concentrate. For instance, the issues of mycotoxins. These are high food safety issues. We have the issue of chemicals that are being used to preserve some of these fruits and some of these foods, which are very hazardous to human health. So these are the issues. It does not in any way relate to issue of genetic modification. You see, even in our country, you see people using very hazardous pesticides to preserve some grains and storage. And some people will come and refer it to as GM. It has no relations to GM. These are practices that are poor, that are of very bad effect to our food safety system. They has nothing to do with GM food.
Okay. You're aware that some countries in first world nations, the EU, Europe, America, some countries have banned the cultivation of genetically modified organisms, but they tolerate the importation of it. Does Nigeria have agency of its own to determine whether it can prevent cultivation, instead opt for importation, or have a secluded area for cultivation? Plus, I also think this is the necessary link here where we state that the nature of GMO, except you would like to correct what is an already known notion about the nature of GMO, would corrupt your heirloom seeds, meaning that you have seeds that are organic, and if you plant them in any proximity to genetically modified foods, the system of growing, birth, rebirth, and cultivation, where pollens can be taken from the genetically modified to pretty much sterilize or change the genetic nature of your heirloom seeds, happens, which pretty much takes away even your own natural or organic seeds. I'd like for you to speak from the point of the countries that have banned it and to the fact that the nature of genetically modified seeds in a short time can make farmers lose their rights to natural seeds.
Yes, thank you so much. And that's part of the concerns that has been raised. And the good thing you have mentioned is that some countries, maybe Europe, they are not cultivating, but they are importing. That is a clear show to Nigerians that the issue of GM safety has been globally dealt with.
I want to object to that. No. Pardon me. I don't think dealt with is the answer, because there's a reason they ban it. They ban it because of its environmental effects, the unknown long-term effects, and whatever is supposed.
I am coming to cultivation. Okay. I am referring to the issue of importation, because some countries import, and the reason they import and they use it for food and feed. So when you use your GM import for food and feed, it means that the issue of the safety is already ascertained and clear. Now, coming to issue of cultivation, let me tell you, like so many countries who have stopped cultivation now have started cultivating, because we have a global issue of sentiment that was brought into the GM technology and regulatory systems. And when you don't have the scientists speaking up, when you don't have the regulatory institutions speaking up, some of those things go that way. We have a situation currently now that some countries are having the scientists being able to explain the systems, and their governments are reversing the issue of cultivation. Then secondly, it comes up with the issue of sovereignty. Let me tell you, people like Europe, that is where you may see some of them that are not planted. Why some are planted is because you will consider, they consider some of their population and may require that they can import to supplement what they have. They may not cultivate, but you can compare that with some countries in Africa. Okay, you look at USA. USA didn't follow that method because the biosafety system takes also care of environmental safety, which if certified safe, you can cultivate. And USA has started cultivating for more than 30 years ago because they know they have population to grow. South America, the same thing. And part of Africa, the same thing. You may see people that are not growing, maybe they feel like we can import.
That is a very superficial way to look at it. No, I object to that.
Toxic.
No.
The issue of being toxic to the environment is an issue of biosafety, which I tell you, it is part of environmental safety assessment system. These are the things you look into. And let me correct that impression. You cannot plant a GMO and it becomes toxic to the environment.
Can it contaminate does it contaminate the environment? Does it have a characteristic to usurp your environment?
No, it doesn't. And that is the essence of biosafety. Biosafety process cannot guarantee and such which can contaminate the environment and allow it to come into commercialization. That is the essence of biosafety. Biosafety is there to make sure that these concerns you are raising now has been taken care of and are firm from the beginning that it does not have such effect which you are mentioning now. So before you see it commercialized, it means that biosafety has taken into cognizance all those concerns and find out that it is safe for commercialization.
Okay. So let's speak about that. You're a scientist. You know of adaptation, gene adaptations.
Can I say something to that effect?
Okay.
So I just want to add to what he has said. See, MBMA, there's something I would like to explain at this point. MBMA is there from the lab, from preconception, yes, from the containment level to before it gets to the field. So before it gets to the field, MBMA would have known that this crop will contaminate, and MBMA and the regulatory agency, of course, will stop that before any crop gets to the Nigerian market, it has been certified safe globally, because the regulation starts from the lab to the containment, to the greenhouse, to the confined field trial, multi-locational trial, before it gets to the farmer's hands. So the issue of GMOs contaminating other seeds, this issue would have been dealt with, because it's like my colleague said, it's nothing less than a 10-year project.
Who funds the research? Because the moment you say that it's been certified globally, well, who's funding the research that said it's been certified globally that makes it pass the approval test? Because just please, let's hold our thoughts for a moment. I want to quickly go off on a break. It allows you a minute to also catch your breath. We're going to quickly go off on a break and we'll be right back. Lagos, don't go anywhere.
More conversation, more talk, more.
Activate. We are radioactive on 99.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Joyce.
Lagos, we're back. We're 99.3 with Nigeria Info. It's 3 more minutes before we touch down 1 p.m. In that 3 minutes, I want to establish, sir, Onyeka, Nwosu, were you on a thought, or should I ask you another question, a follow-up question? I thought you were on a thought you wanted to conclude.
Yeah. You mentioned the issue of funding of who funds the research and so. Let me tell you, research is, when you talk of research can be funded by any people that is interested in the research. But when it comes to regulation is strictly a government issue.
Yeah, but the government can be lobbied. No, but we know that the government can be lobbied. Where we know that. We know that the government can be made to do the bidding of a piper dictating a tune. We know that. Like,
in such situations, we don't know that. It doesn't such but let me even ask you.
But the government can be lobbied. That is a known thing.
Can government deliberately subject its citizens to something that is not safe? When you say
at this point, it's an open-ended question. Depending on who's paying, we
so
don't know who's buying.
I think you're a journalist and you should.
No. I'm saying that. I'm saying that there is that possibility. I'm saying that we cannot eliminate the possibility. Excuse me, please. I'm saying that we cannot eliminate the possibility that a government can be lobbied. That's all I'm saying. You may say, well, this government was not lobbied, but we cannot eliminate the possibility that a government can be lobbied. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I would just like to say something. I would like to urge you to be open-minded about this, because from the way you are talking, it's apparent that you have taken a side, and it's true. It's apparent you have taken a side, and I would like to sincerely urge you, be open-minded. You have called the regulatory agency for an interview. I would like you to be open-minded about it. NBMA is funded by the government, and honestly speaking, we are Nigerians. We go to the same market. I will not endanger my children. I will not endanger my family. We will not endanger our lives. Government will not deliberately want to endanger the life of its citizens. I do not think so. Even the government is lobbying not to kill its citizens. Please let us correct this.
I think you're trying to get words in my mouth. I can speak for myself. I don't think that the government is going to want to endanger its citizens. There's a reason manipulation is what it is, because any tactic can be used to arrive at a goal. I am saying that we need to at least admit, as honest people, that these possibilities exist. I am not accusing you of any one thing in particular. I'm saying that the possibilities to circumvent something and arrive at a goal exist. That's all I'm saying. Whether the government is being lobbied to kill the people or not kill the people is not what I'm saying. I didn't touch that. And then she's saying be open-minded. The reason I brought you here is to inform the public. I am open-minded, but I'm trying to make this as open as we can afford to have it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so we're a few seconds away from the top of the hour. I beg you.
That notion has been...
Okay, so please bear with me. We're going to quickly go off on a break and we'll be back. Thank you.
They accuse the management of Dangote Refinery of attempting to bring back what they call slavery into Nigerian workforce.
So what Dangote wants to do is a good move.
Okay.
Trying to free us from this slavery that this would have been us in this oil sector.
They have turned everything to their own. It is possible to collect your bread and commercialize it. They wouldn't mind to do.
There are unions in every sector. That body you call, I'm just hearing the name for the first time. This is a mumbo jumbo union.
But I think what no Nigerian saw coming would be this 5% petrol tax that's soon to begin.
It's in as much as I will pay that 500 naira. All the whole supporters of Tulumbu will pay that 5 naira. That's no problem.
Conversation never stops. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Be part of the system that shares.
The station where you matter.
To you watching live on Facebook and on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3 Lagos. Thank you for always tuning. We appreciate your time.
It's 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
It's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
update on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Drivers, take note. The Lagos State government is set to fix Ozumbambadiwe Road from Bonny Camp Junction in Victoria Island. The repairs will run for 7 days starting today. But there's something else you should know. The road will be closed every night from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Commissioner for Transportation Oluwaseun Washiemi says the move is to reduce traffic stress. He's urging motorists to be patient and take alternative routes. Meanwhile, get ready for a rainy stretch. NIMET says thunderstorms and heavy rain are on the way from Monday through Wednesday. The north will be worst hit, with possible flash floods in Adamawa, Taraba, and Gombe. NIMET is warning residents to stay safe, avoid floodwaters, and keep an eye on weather updates. Meanwhile, the federal government has issued a flood alert for 11 states this week. Heavy rainfall is expected in more than 30 locations. Communities in Benue, Delta, and Zamfara are among the high-risk areas. The government is urging residents to evacuate where necessary and calling on emergency teams to be on standby. Students across Lagos State have resumed for the 2025-2026 academic session. This first term will run until the 19th of December. Parents are advised to check the full calendar on the Office of the Education Quality Assurance website. The government says the focus this year is academic growth and excellence. And finally, the NDLEA has raided a factory producing scotches in Ikorodu. Scotches is a cocktail of cannabis and blackcurrant. Over 6,000 bottles and 4.2 tons of cannabis were seized. The factory manager is now in custody, and more drugs were intercepted at Tinkan Port, Mushin, and courier firms. The NDLEA says it's stepping up its fight against drug cartels. And that's all the updates we have for you. At this time, it is back to the sunny side with Joyce, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Yvonne Ohaifo. Thank you for your time.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone.
Lakers, we're back. 99.3 Nigeria Info. You are on the sunny side, and my name's Joyce. It's 4 minutes past 1 p.m. It's a beautiful Monday afternoon. We have representatives from the Nigerian Biosafety Management Agency, and at least we're trying to comprehend what's happening with that sector, but fundamentally food. The world is moving at a pace we barely are able to keep up with, and I guess the difficulty for us is that we're hoping that those with the responsibility would do a noble and diligent work to, in the worst of circumstances, give us the option of choice. And so this probably just takes us back to the question, a question I'd like to ask Onyeka Nwosu, who says that there is no difference between the genetically modified and the organics when you compare them. So how do we have choice if we can't quite tell the difference? I want to quickly reconnect with my guests if they are available. And I have a question now for Gloria Ogbaki, who pretty much assumes that I may not be open-minded. I hope that she can explain some of the events or some of the situation. Well, I hope she can explain what happened at the seventh conference, the seventh annual conference, because we had reports that there were more GMO promoters than non-GMO promoters. That Open Forum for Agricultural Biotechnologists, a known promoter of GMOs, distributed conference materials promoting GMOs at the 7th Biosafety Conference. So I want to go to the scientist first. Sir, as a scientist, I want to ask you about gene mutation, because we know that the way you tell us how you know mutation works. And whether we can truly say that genetically modified foods will not mutate. And the reason I'm asking you this question is to accommodate for all the unknowns that can emerge from something that has been altered at a gene level. So I'd like for you to pick it up from there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joyce. Thank you for connecting back. You mentioned of issues of gene mutation. So in this case, genetic modification is not issue of gene mutation. It's issue of precision in gene, in targeting a specific gene to confer a specific trait. That is not the issue of gene mutation. And those properties within the cells and within the genes are part of the things that are being taken care of during the process of the research. So the issue of gene mutation, mutating does not arise. It is issue of specifically and precisely altering a specific gene to confer a specific trait. So Nigerians should understand this. And let me re-emphasize and make it clear. When you talk of biosafety, it is based on these concerns that a global protocol set up biosafety to ensure that all these issues, genetic, socioeconomic, food, all health, are taken care. This is a technology that is growing and it has been there for more than 30 years. And you have to regulate it. You must have to regulate it. And that is what the agency is doing. And let me also use this opportunity to correct that notion. Governments all over the world set up authorities for specific things. And it is well recognized that when an authority is in place, when an issue in that area comes up, you will refer to the authority. It is the authority for that specific issue that will give you the right opinion, that will give you the right information on how this thing is done. But in the issue of genetically modification, we have had a situation in Nigeria where we have people who does not even understand the science, countering the opinions of an authority. And this is where the media comes in. Oh, thank God the media person is here. She will explain to you further. We collaborate with the media. The job of the media to also, when an authority makes a clear statement, because they are mandated to deal with that issue, it is the media that will help to cascade that issue to the public, because that is why you have authority in several sectors. Before I hand over, I want to also briefly mention the issue of the 7th conference you mentioned before Gloria takes over. Let me tell you, we now have a situation where people are not objective in their opinion. People are not objective, but they just want to give misinformation and disinformation.
Who are you referring to in this regard? Pardon me. Who do you think may be giving disinformation or misinformation?
The National Biosafety Management Agency is the authority in terms of regulating genetic modification.
I must interrupt your thoughts there, and I just want to point to something. And this is not to challenge your authority. This is to present to you something that has happened in recent history that gives us another perspective to quote authority. Recently, you're full aware of the COVID period and the COVID science. And anybody who followed the science by half a measure is full aware that what the people were told and what the outcomes were two different things. You don't even have to take my word for it. And so for the longest time, authority has been the one practically programming thought. But the moment people start thinking for themselves, the outcomes are different. For example, there's a reason the European Food Safety Authority decided to reject genetically modified food. There's a reason they did. The countries that have rejected GMOs, there's a reason that they have. And I know that the authority maybe is waiting to get another kind of information. I am just hoping that the Nigerian Biosafety Agency knows that this is such an important issue. For example, my next question would be, how ethical is it that someone else owns the rights to the seed? So genetically modified foods, who owns the rights to those seeds?
So, all right, thank you so much. And let me also re-emphasize here. You said you have a different, when in the issue of COVID-19, you have a different opinion from what the outcome. Let me tell you, we are talking of science. Science is not just a roadside issue. Science is science-driven.
I am speaking of the science. I am speaking of peer-reviewed science.
That's what I'm trying to explain.
No, because you are trying to suggest that my opinion is non-scientific. No, I'm saying that the peer-reviewed science for COVID spoke against what the authorities stated, and you don't have to take my word for it.
I'm trying to make explanation to you. That's why I say it is science. Science is there that you can repeat it, you can prove it, you can disprove it. And when it comes to a new emerging issue, things and adequate measures are taking place, and the authorities have the right to regulate the system. And there are several things authority, or most of them, they tell you are the right information and the right process. And let me tell you, science is dynamic. Science is not static. And that is why regulation is not also static. Regulation moves as science moves. And that is what Nigerians and the world should understand. We have what we call drug development and drug discovery. If science and regulation is static, today you wouldn't have been having new drugs and also phasing out the old drugs, because regulation is also not static. As science is moving, regulation is also moving. People should not misconstrue this.
Yeah, but you also all have to understand that because this is experimental. I agree with you, but because this is experimental, it makes us the lab rats. If you can admit to that,
I disagree with you. When it comes to issue of genetically modified organisms, we see people mentioning the issue of long term. Let me tell you that issues of GMO has been into the system commercialized for getting to 30 years now. And the different scientific methodologies is coming different. We have what we call now gene editing, and regulation is also advancing to meet it all. This is technology. One thing about it is that you do regulation not to stifle innovation, but you do regulation to ensure that what the process and whatever comes out of it are safe. That is what we usually say, safe and responsible science. That is what Nigerians should understand. And that is why people who are not does not have enough knowledge in the system should be able to listen and see and let me tell you, as a regulator, we are open-minded. We invite whatever concern you have. That is why we are here. Let me also make this thing clear here and now. We are like a police of the sector. We are like a police of the sector. There are researches that didn't see the light of the day that we regulators stopped. There are some certain applications that didn't go further because the regulators
are this information, do you have it public? Do you have it public? This information you just made, do you have it public? Because I think that the Nigerian public also needs to know your work. Because maybe it's because the Nigerian public is not fully aware.
And that is the essence of what we are discussing today.
But prior to this moment, as a responsibility on your part, are these information public for the Nigerian consumer to access or for the Nigerian listener to access?
Yes, most of our assessments are accessible via our website. You can access it. And we also have, just like I told you, biosafety is a global issue. We also have a global database, Biosafety Clearinghouse, where you can also go and assess all assessments on genetic modification. See, we keep telling people, biosafety is more like a police. And we have had a situation in this country where a group of people, I will come to that because you mentioned that who dictates who pays the
who's funding the research which you say you conduct.
That is where I'm coming. We now have a situation in Nigeria where a group of there are trade war in this sector, if you must know. We now have a situation where you have some seeds that are pest resistant, where you will not use much of chemical pesticide, which costs more. You will use reduction in chemical pesticide. And we now have some issues where those that sell this chemical pesticide, we will like to pull down the technology and the regulatory system of that technology just for their business to do. That is another aspect of its own case. But I'm telling you, in our own situation as an authority, the government, basically, is that the people that dictate what we do, because they fund us to save Nigeria. Now, those people that are mentioning issues, coming out to cause misinformation and disinformation, I want the media go and investigate. Who pays, who dictates their own? Most of them are international, but we don't know. You are the people that we investigate and know. It means I have had a situation in this country where in a national TV, and a government, somebody from a sponsor working with an international government, international agency, an international donor working for them, came to a national TV to say things that government are being sponsored to do this. I was imagining that means you that is being paid by an international body. It means that it is what they are telling you to say is what you came here to say, and you are challenging somebody that is being paid by government. These are the issues media should let Nigerians know. We have an issue. You mentioned the issue of 7th National Conference. Oh my God. Joyce, what is a conference? What is when we say people are not objective, you do conference. Conference is where you gather all opinion and interested set of people in a particular sector to come and engage, dissect, argue, disagree, approve, and things will come out of it. We are regulators of biotechnology. Who do you think are our major stakeholders? Our major stakeholders are those practicing the technology. So people should not misinform people. So if we are doing a conference to relate the issue of biosafety, the most important
I want to underscore your responsibility here. Okay, so
those practicing it.
Yeah, but you keep saying misinformation. You as a government body,
too.
Yeah, but you as a government body, you have a responsibility to inform the public on your work.
Very well.
So that nobody is speaking for you or filling in the gaps. When you are not speaking, when they can't find you, people will fill in the gaps. So maybe much of you needs to show up on radio and television to say this is our research, this is where we got it from, this is what the Nigerians should know. Until decisions change tomorrow, this is our stand today. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And we are happy that this is part of the avenues we are using to do that. And the NBMA has been doing that very well. The head communications and populations will also give information of how we have been doing this. But before she come about, let me also clear this matter. That is why I say Nigerians should be objective. Somebody sponsored by whoever comes will come up and tell you that he came to a conference and saw the technology,
the promoters of genetically modified food.
The promoter. Is that not madness in its own reasoning?
How is that madness? No. How is that madness?
That's what I'm telling you. So you now, if you are being regulated by MBC, right? Nigerian Broadcasting Commission, right? So if Nigerian Broadcasting Commission is doing a conference on codes on conduct of broadcasting, is it wrong that you, that is the practitioner, will be there? You are the major stakeholder. You are the essence of the conference. Conference is come and tell us what is the problem you are having. Maybe there's this. These are where you get. That is the essence of conference. Conference is not meant. You open it up.
So what was the conclusion at the conference? What was the conclusion at the conference?
A lot of issues came out from the conference. There are emerging issues coming up, and regulation will fit in with these emerging issues. There are issues of public awareness, like you said. There are a lot of issues in fact, there are issues like now, I'm telling you, we have opened up, as a regulator, we open up for people to come, research, that is why we are police. Let me tell you, we have somebody from University of Ibadan. You know, biosafety has a lot of its own aspects. There is social aspect, the legal aspect. We have a lawyer and the supervisor professor. They will open door. We partner with them. Do your research. We will provide all the necessary information. Help us, if you can, to gather some information. And that is what the agency is saying. Whoever that comes to tell you that he comes to a conference and he saw those people, you start looking at that person on how he thinks.
Okay.
He's not being objective.
No, well, I think we can subject
that.
Let
me allow Gloria to speak more on the topic.
Okay, the lighter the okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Onyeka has said a lot. You talked about MBMA. Yes, MBMA, we have been doing a lot when it comes to public awareness. You know, Nigeria is a very, very big country. So getting to the length and breadth of Nigeria, it's quite a very huge task. But as an agency funded by government, without, strictly funded by the government, definitely, you know how resources are for when it comes to publicity. You know how massive publicity can be. But we try our best. We have our website that is regularly, always updated on a weekly, if not, let me say, on a updated every other day. We also have our social media handles, which every day, when you go to X at Biosafety NIG, you go to Instagram at Biosafety NIG, you go to LinkedIn at National Biosafety, you go to Facebook, you will see every day we send out information. Or check it now. You will see on a daily basis, information are being sent out on a daily basis. Now, Onyeka talked about the conference. Let me tell you, there are some people in this country, they've already taken their sides, they've already taken their opinion. When National Biosafety, like he said, National Biosafety Management Agency is a police. In a conference, we invite this one, we invite that one. We invite the promoters, come and tell us what we are doing, because if we don't know what the promoters are doing, how do we know, how can we regulate them? We cannot regulate what we don't know. So it's in that conference they tell us, okay, these are the new emerging technologies, these are the things. And we now say, okay, as biosafety, we now have to beef up ourselves to ensure that we move along with this technology. If we don't invite them, how will we know? In our sending of letters, we also invite the other side, those who don't want technology. But unfortunately, you see them, they don't attend intentionally. Personally, I have sent emails to those who say, okay, we don't want, come and tell us why you don't want the technology. Personally, I'm talking to you from a point of, I have sent emails to them, they don't come, and even those that will come, they will hide and sit and listen and go out and say something else.
Okay, so do you think the statements by NAFDAC,
like Onyeka said,
okay,
pardon me, the media has a responsibility. People keep talking about who is funding these people. Who is funding? Because you cannot just tell me you're going from one media house to another free of charge. It's not possible.
So who's funding? So who are your funding? So who funds the Nigerian Biosafety Management Agency?
The federal government funds us.
Exclusively?
And you know that. Exclusively by the federal government. Salary is paid
nothing
by the
from the
government.
USAID?
USAID? Nothing from the USAID.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so the NAFDAC DG had initially said that GMOs are pesticides and unfit for human consumption in 2024, but then we hear that she was cautioned by the NBMA. What can you say about that? Because she must have thought differently for a reason, or did the science change?
So
it's okay if you need a moment to collect your thoughts. I want to quickly go off on a break.
No. You made your last statement, please.
So
I want to hear your last statement.
Okay, so my last statement is going to be a question, and I want to go off on a break. So I'll ask the question. I think it gives you a few moments to collect your thoughts, and we will come back in just about a few minutes. The question is, the NAFDAC DG had initially said that GMOs are pesticides, from her judgment. And then soon after, she changed it because of a caution from the NBMA. So I would like for you to speak on that when we return. You can correct it.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
It is an incontrovertible fact that the future of power is solar. It is becoming increasingly clear that solar is the way to go if reliable, clean, and uninterrupted power is our goal. Our homes need power, our offices need power, our public buildings need power, our lives and activities need power, and of course, I mean reliable power. Now, at the Solar World Electric Technology Limited, we have cut our teeth as professionals in the business of solar and renewable energy, ranging from inverters, lithium-ion batteries, solar panels, solar water heating systems, solar street lights, etc. You can visit our office at the Seco Mall, 5th Roundabout, Lekki Epe Expressway, Jakonde, Lagos, or our website on www.solarworldelectric.com, or you can call us on 0906 331 5492. Solar World Electric Technology Limited. We are redefining the limits.
Nigeria Info Daily Winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
The conversations you hear on Nigeria Info.
United Nations, Atiku, Obi, and of course, a senator from Borno State, Senator Lindume, all are outraged over the killings that happened over the weekend in Borno State.
Both UN and United Nations, all of them are chokers because all of them know the problem of this country. They know how it starts. All of them are involved.
These people, of course, I don't think they have the interest of Nigeria at heart. As far as they are concerned, Nigeria is a business enterprise, and they're only interested in milking the country.
The Lagos APC has denied claims that it's actually attacked ADC members in Ali Moshow.
Even if you're not pointing fingers to the APC, the police should swing in to find out who did this, right?
Conversation never stops. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
I really want to appreciate my guests for being here. They're doing the work of trying to clear the doubts and correct errors in public judgment or maybe even private judgment. They're here from the Nigerian Biosafety Agency, and I want to believe that you can truly just feel the balancing act between what the news should be and what the news is. So we need to go right back, and I want to say thanks to my guests again, and I'm reconnecting with you right now. There was a question before the break, and I want to thank all listeners who have sent in their questions. I will only ask a few to our guests because of time, just so you know. I'm just going to attempt to touch on just a few questions, and hopefully they're able to give you some comprehension, some understanding, or some direction as to where to look if looking is exactly what you need to do, or maybe what to know if knowing is where the confusion lies. If I can have my guests back, thank you so much for your patience, and thank you again for joining me on the show this afternoon. So you can also, hello, if you were there.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, okay. So you can pick up from except you need me to repeat it. I would like for you to pick up your reaction or pick up your response from the last question.
Yes, you. That's the question on the NAFDAC DG statement.
Yeah,
you mentioned,
and how they changed their mind. Yeah,
and quite interestingly, you said you ended that statement by saying that the NPMA, after cautioning them, they changed their mind.
Yeah, exactly. Am I wrong?
I don't know where you got that information, and that is absolutely wrong. Let me tell you, when it comes to an institution, you know, the chief executive officer is more like the administrative officer that oversees the institution, and there are a lot of people doing their work.
Okay.
So in all our risk assessment processes and review, the NAFDAC has been there. There are scientists of the NAFDAC who are experts of biosafety who has been in this process. So she will have gone back to look at the records and understand the global system of GM regulation. Okay. And that is what governance is all about. And come back to tell you the real facts of it. So
but it's no longer a pesticide, even though it kills pests.
No, that is the science we are telling you. Let me just give you an instance. You know, you take antibiotics, right?
Yeah.
What does antibiotics do? It kills the bacteria in your body. Why doesn't it kill you if it kills the bacteria in your body? If it can kill.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that the bacteria, the problem with that is that the bacteria will adapt, mutate, and you have to give me another antibiotics. which pretty much the World Health Organization has been complaining about for the longest time, that our antibiotics resistance has grown. Okay.
And that will not stop the treatment of that bacteria.
But doesn't it
These
affect
are
the human
science.
biological
If it
system
would-
where your antibiotics begins to overshoot your biology?
See, these are ill health, and the essence of science is to provide solutions to them. This is science. And I just wanted to bring that mechanism to you. That is the same mechanism. There is what we call specificity in action. So that you have a pest, that you have you picked a particular gene that exhibits such to resist a pest, does not mean it can kill human beings. So I just raised that mechanism to explain the science for you.
But even the very same science, look, I do appreciate this, but even the very same science will say, yeah, when you take the antibiotics to kill the virus mutates. It's in the science. I'm not quoting anything that's not in the science. So it means that the act may have a semblance of good to it, but fundamentally it is flawed because maybe another approach is what's needed. And maybe you don't have the answer today. But I'm saying that even the science is complaining about today the use of antibiotics. It's the science.
So let me also clear you forward. So we have what we also call insect resistant management in biosafety process. And let me tell you that, but we are trying to emphasize the issue of safety and how it works. That it mutates and does not mean that you will not take the antibiotics further again. There are no researches to further combat the issue of mutation. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. And that is what we clearly state. Science is not static. Science is dynamic and regulation remains dynamic. What I'm trying to explain to you is that we have what we call Bacillus thuringiensis, a bacteria which, by the way, that place you are sitting, if you touch the floor and put your hand in the mouth mistakenly, you may also have Bacillus thuringiensis being ingested, which has no effect on human and human health. And that is where that specific cryotoxin was used for in case of EBR-CALP. So these are the sciences people should understand. Okay. And that is why an issue of Digina, that she has understood the system, she understands how it is, and how the risk assessment is done, and the global opportunity. Let me also tell you, because I overheard in an arena where some people will come and claim they are this, and if you hear what they are saying, you will marvel. Are you aware that genetic modification is also part of the insulin system? I mentioned it when I came in. We also have what we call thromboxane that is used to prevent clotting that is not in human beings. And this is genetic modification with goat and transfer to woman. And these are science. And let me tell you, if safety issue becomes important, and I hear some people mentioning it can cause cancer, it can cause this. Meanwhile, if you pick your phone, everybody in Nigeria listening, pick your phone, do a simple Google. What does this WHO, FAO, all these standards say about the safety of GM? It will be clear for you to read. So people should not confuse people. Just as I tell you, somebody came in, one of the people that are saying that they have a watermelon GMO. I now told the person he's telling, you are experienced and learner. Why not just pick your phone? Just Google, is there GM watermelon in the world? And he says no. The person clearly said, so people should not just Google. As I'm talking, you have your rights as individual. Google, learn, and know the things that is important. People should not come and confuse people. Let me tell you, we have a situation where there is a professor who said he's a professor, say reading one sentence or something, he's a chemist claiming to be a food scientist, came on a national TV and said that the chemical pesticide was injected inside the beans, and that is what we call the GM beans. I said the Biotechnology Society of Nigeria was so mad. How can somebody come and make such statement? And because Nigerians don't understand, they believe such people. So these
okay. Now I think you and I can agree on something here. Is it possible that there is a void you need to fill which you haven't filled? Because you keep repeating that there is misinformation, and it does quite appear that a large number, well, the bigger weight of that responsibility is yours. Because maybe, if you'll agree, it's that you are probably not informing the public. You have made it my responsibility. You have said the media this, the media that. But there's not much of you that's known by the Nigerian public. And I can understand that the biosafety may be misrepresented in some sense, but the biosafety, the agency needs to speak out a lot more and show proof of their work. So at least you can stand by the things that you say and by the evidence of your work. In the absence of that, people deserve to know, and if you're not telling them what to look out for or what they should know, they will fill up the gaps, and you can't quite blame them for that.
Yeah, and I think Gloria, my colleague, has also explained to you how we are working hard to inform the public, and we will keep doing that. And at the same time, we are urging the public, see, if you...
Have I lost you? Okay. I cannot hear you if you are there.
National authorities, government set up national and make statements on behalf of the government of Nigeria for them. So that is what people should understand.
Okay, you're breaking up. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm losing your words.
For the government authorities to do their work. It is quite
okay, so I think I'm having there's a problem. Sir, if you can hear me, if you can hear me, please. There's a snag to the connection, and it doesn't allow me hear you without interruption. I want to reaffirm that you say that genetic modified foods do not sterilize organics, the organic seeds, like genetically crops grown on genetically. No. The genetically modified crops do not sterilize organics. If you can hear me, by the way, I don't know what's wrong with the connection. Okay, I think they have had to disconnect. We're going to go off on a break. Hopefully they join back. It's been quite an intense one. We're 99.3 Nigeria Info. Okay, I want to speak to questions that you may have. Now, the problem with is that your opinions are quite broad. So this doesn't even appear to be questions as much as they appear to be comments that you have. You say, ask the guest, crops, grains that have been genetically modified. Okay, yeah, but they have to reconnect. Thank you. Please, if you have any questions, if you can live it within 2 sentences, it just really helps get into the point quickly. So I really do appreciate their joining me today. They already accused me of something. Very easy to do, I guess. 39 minutes past 1 p.m. with Nigeria Info.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone.
Hey, hello. Good afternoon to you. If you can hear me, I'm still waiting for my guests to rejoin. I hope they do. What's your name? And
I want to ask him some questions.
What's your name?
What we had was that the GMO seed cannot be replanted. So is this true or false? It
asked him about the ownership. Yeah,
and at the same time, the land that they sold, they plant a GMO seed. It cannot be, eventually the land becomes useless. It cannot be replanted. Any other thing cannot germinate inside that land. Ask them those questions.
Which one? So your first question is the GMO corrupts the land.
The GMO seed cannot be replanted.
Before
now, the God gave us seed. If the seed they germinate, we eat what we want to eat. We can replant it and we germinate again. That one is no for that. The another thing, the land.
Got it.
The land cannot be taken care of. You cannot grow another seed again after 1 or twice planting season. You cannot do anything again. The land is useless.
Yeah.
Ask them those questions.
Yeah. So they've been able to. Thank you so much for calling me. They've been able to rejoin. Hello, sir. Mr. Onyeka Nwosu, if you can hear me. Thank you so much for joining back. The Nigerian public they have questions, and I want to ask you what I deem to be most important questions. So you were on a thought before I lost you. I want to apologize and thank you once again for your time. I'm just honestly hoping that you can go trace back your last few sentences so you can finalize your thoughts so we can hear you clearly without misquoting you. And then I can ask you the few questions the Nigerian public have for you.
Yes, so I think I was trying to say, you are trying to mention how we are working hard to ensure that the public is involved.
Yeah.
Do you know that even in our review process, I've told you earlier that independent review experts are involved in a National Biosafety Committee, and all the relevant regulatory agencies are also involved in this process. And mind you, when National Biosafety Management Agency finishes their own work, it doesn't go that way. We have what we call, if it is a seed, the Seed Council, we follow up with their regulation. The Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Service, we follow through their regulation.
Okay.
If it is going to be processed into NAFDAC, we follow into their work. There is also National Varietal Release, who will finish off their work before it gets to the commercial release. So Nigeria is well structured institutionally to regulate things like this.
Okay, so then let me ask you, pardon me. So labeling, how is that going to work? If you say Nigeria is properly structured and you spoke about choice when you came up earlier, then where is my choice and how is labeling going to work?
Yes, labeling is part of the National Biosafety System. Labeling is part of the National Biosafety System. And GM food, in terms of the threshold, will be labeled accordingly. And currently, NBMA and NAFDAC are currently trying to revise a new labeling mechanism that will also work better. But be rest assured that GMs are labeled. If you pick a seed, if you go to buy a seed, the genetically modified, it is well labeled. It is well labeled in line with the Seed Council incorporating biosafety labeling mechanisms for GM. So these are the things people should know. And what we are saying is that we are working hard to strengthen it. We are working hard to put a lot of these choices in place. So as I told you, MPMA and NAFDAC are working to remodel also that labeling mechanism. So labeling is part of the biosafety system to give you the choice.
Okay, all right. So
mind you, labeling is not a safety matter. It's just a matter of choice.
Labeling is not a safety vacuum. It's a matter of choice. Yeah, but choice is a right. You're not going to accept that.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's clear, of course.
That is what I'm telling you. It's the choice is your right. Labeling is all about just to have you right. But before you even talk of labeling, the essence of assuring that it is safe is more priority, which you have done. Then you label for choice, for people to exercise their right.
Okay, quite a number of Nigerians have brought up the issue. I asked you earlier on about ownership of the seeds. Maybe you forgot to speak on that, so this is me reminding you. Ownership of the seeds, and then Nigerians have asked the question of the GMO cannot be replanted. And then the caller, while you were trying to reconnect, said that the seeds, when you plant genetically modified grains on a land, it corrupts the land. So I want for you to speak on ownership, replanting or replantation.
Okay.
Okay, if you remember the questions, you can go ahead, please.
Yes, you mentioned the issue of the last caller. Can you connect the last caller to also that we will come and confirm and run that research with him for the GM that we have approved in Nigeria? That is the PBRO cowpea, the teller maize, and the GM cotton. We can come and help and conduct the research with him, and he will bring the farm of his choice, and we will plant with all factors being equal and plant and know if it cannot regrow. That is the misinformation we are telling you.
So thank you so much. But let me see if I understand it. You are saying that genetically modified crops can regrow, same character, same. How many? What's the generation? What's the generation of the seed? Is it timeless like the organics, or does it die at a point?
No. Now let me explain the science to you. You know, there is what we call hybrid technology, which is incorporated in GM technology. There is normal conventional hybrid, where when you do your hybrid, when you make the first planting, it will give you a massive growth yield that you want. But there is what in science, in agronomy, called hybrid vigor. The vigor will continue to reduce, but that does not mean that you will not replant. But the vigor will continue to reduce, but you will continue to plant. It is even in your conventional plants. That is why the old people go and select the best of their seeds, the best one. They didn't say collect, the best one, so that the best one can be able to do better next one. After that, they go out of it and check out for the best of it. If you choose any of them, it's because this is vigor. There is vigor in replanting. As you are replanting a particular seed, the vigor is reducing. So even the old people go and do the selection, the best, so that the best can be able to give the vigor. So that is generally the same thing as you see it in the conventional. That is the same.
So you are saying that the generation in the seed for the organic is the same as the genetically modified.
That's what I'm telling you. And let me even clear that issue of organic. I don't know if people understand what organic means. You can still plant GM as an organic. When you say you are planting organically, means that you are not introducing perhaps chemical fertilizers and chemical pesticides and
or seeds that have been genetically altered.
So you can pick a genetically modified seed and plant it organically. So so people should not misconstrue those sentences and say this is organic and this is organic. Is when you don't involve all those chemical pesticides, all those chemical fertilizers in your planting. You are using purely biological materials to control your farming. If you get a GM seed, you can also plant it organically. So these are the things people should understand. These are the basic science.
Okay, because now that you say you're trying to correct the public opinion, I kind of like it, because many of the complaint has been that the genetically modified seeds die out and then you have to go buy more seeds. You're aware of that?
No, it's not true. That's what I'm telling you. It's all about vigor. For you, you may plant the first generation, plant the second generation, you think that the vigor is reducing, just like it is in a normal plant. You go for seed, and that is why there are seed companies to help improve agriculture. If not, there won't be seed companies. So you breed so that the vigor, so if you can plant 2-3 generations, you feel that the vigor is not, you need more, you get another seed and plant. The same way in GM technology. And that is why you have a seed council that regulates seed in Nigeria too. So people should not be misconstrued. These are normal standards. But when it comes to GM, we the regulators understand the system. And that is why we will try to inform the public, look at the way these things are.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So the telephone lines have been ringing. So we're only just taking questions. Hello. Welcome to Nigeria.
Hello.
Afternoon. Your name and your question, please, so I can quickly just utilize our guests the best that we can.
Yeah, my name is Femi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so, my question is, the person or persons speaking, first of all, I want to ask if they've been to the farm to see the effects of GMO plants personally. First of all, are they scientists that have carried out experiments themselves? They experimented and saw these things, or they are working off based on information that they got? And 3, why have they evaded most of the questions that you've asked? The question about funding, the question about the sources, the question about the original question you asked, I can't remember now. They evaded every of the question and beat around the bush. They didn't answer the question.
So let them answer your question, which is, have they been on the field to properly identify for themselves what the effects of genetically modified crops are to our soil and environment? Sir, yeah, and by the way, he is a scientist. Onyeka Nwosu is the principal scientific officer with the Nigerian Biosafety Management Agency. So, sir, did you hear the question?
Yeah, please help me clear up the questions. I couldn't hear.
Okay, so the caller was asking,
please let me even. Okay. Yeah, go on.
Oh, okay. So the caller was asking if the agency has done a field survey, like a ground survey of the effects of genetically modified foods. Because I want to believe much of the rumor that we hear about genetically modified foods are coming from people who are either one, eating a different kind of food, fruit, or those who are farming and experiencing a different outcome with grains or seeds planted.
Yeah.
Any field
So,
survey, have
first
you
of
done
all,
a
let me also
first-hand
emphasize, we are
experimental surveying?
Yeah, let me correct. The agency is National Biosafety Management Agency, not Nigeria.
Oh, pardon me.
For those that want to look up for us.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. If you heard the question,
it's National Biosafety Management.
Thank you so much. I appreciate. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm trying. So part of what I'm trying to explain to you is that part.
The line. I cannot hear you, and I guess it's a network connection issue. So I'm just going to put you on hold while we're trying to fix that and go for the next question. Nigeria Info, you on the sunny side. My name's Joyce. What's your question?
Yeah, Joyce.
Question, please. Thank you.
Francis from VI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Francis from VI. My question is, why is it that the GMO food, they don't differentiate the GMO from a normal seed in Nigerian stores, as in the supermarket? That's my question to your guest.
Yeah, so he's spoken about labeling. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. I do appreciate. Sir, Mr. Nwosu, can you hear me? There's a network.
Yeah,
Okay. Please go ahead.
Good. So I told you that CFT, confined field trial, is part of the process of regulating. And that is where the regulator is in the field. The institutional biosafety committee, that is the eye in the institution, is in the field. The researcher is in the field, and data are collected. The study is watched and seen. And we have a department in the agency that handles that. So these data are there before you can even proceed for commercial release. And do you know, we also have what we call post-release monitoring mechanism, that even after we have commercialized the product, we also conduct post-release monitoring to still ensure that what has been approved is still on its basis. That is why we say regulation is not static, regulation is dynamic. So these are the things we should understand. So I will like I don't know. There's another question the person asked.
Yeah, he was speaking about labeling. He says now that the issue with labeling is that how would the Nigeria be able to tell it differently? And I think you had spoken on that earlier on, even though you didn't quite give specifics. You say you will do it.
Yes.
Any time frame?
No, I didn't say we do it. It is ongoing. What I said is that we are working to strengthen it more.
Okay.
But it is ongoing. And I gave you instances. If you go for a PBRO cowpea seed, it is well labeled. Yes, and Gloria can add some.
I'd just like to add one or two things what Onyeka has said concerning the issue of labeling. So, like he said, when you go to the seed company to get your seed, like PBR cowpea, teller maize, and of course BT cotton, these seeds are well labeled.
Okay, pardon me, Miss Gloria.
Seed company.
Pardon me, Miss Gloria. I want to quickly go off on a break. Pardon me, Miss Gloria.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
Are you finding it difficult listening to your favorite talk radio, Nigeria Info, via the mobile app? Come closer. Let me fix that for you. Now, launch the app on your device. Click the three lines on the top left corner of the app. Look for settings in the drop-down menu and click on it. Turn on the first option that you see. Make sure you turn on the option that says always use highest quality available audio. Now that you have done that, close the app and relaunch it. Voila! I did it! Well, sorry, you did it. Now you can enjoy your radio anywhere, anytime. Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Cultivation, Secondary Schools in Lagos. Season 9 of the I Beg to Differ Secondary Schools Debate Tournament is coming this November. And this time, the battle for secondary schools with ultimate bragging right is officially on. Do you have what it takes to go head-to-head with the brightest young minds in Lagos? Can your school rise to the challenge and claim the crown? Then this is your moment. The I Beg to Differ Secondary Schools Debate is calling your school. Registration opens September 1 and closes September 30. Registration for the I Beg to Differ Season 9 is school-based, only for schools. So gather your team and secure your spot early. To register, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Click on the I Beg to Differ Debates banner on the homepage. Fill out the registration form and hit submit. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
We're back, 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. We have Principal Scientific Officer Onyeka Nwosu on the line and Head Information and Public Relations Officer with the National Biosafety Management Agency with us on Nigeria Info this afternoon. So, Ms. Gloria, you were on a thought before the break. I thank you so much for waiting, and you can pick it up now.
Okay, so yes, I was talking about the issue of labeling, which my colleague has rightly talked about. So in Nigeria, we have NBMA, National Biosafety Management Agency, has given approval for commercializing 3 crops, which is Stella maize, PBR cowpea, and of course BT cotton. When you go to the seed companies to get these seeds, they are well labeled because the regulatory agency for seeds, that's the National Seed Council, works with the seed companies to ensure labeling based on the criteria of NBMA. Now, labeling is part of our guideline. However, the mandate for labeling of foods in Nigeria is with NAFDAC. So now, like what my colleague has explained to you, NBMA and NAFDAC, we have come together to see how we can be able to strengthen the labeling, because it is very important. It is very key for Nigerians to have choice, for Nigerians to be able to rightly choose. I want to eat it, I don't want to eat it, because the honest truth is GMO is not and will never be forced down on anybody's throat. We are working assiduously to strengthen the labeling mechanism so that it will be clear, it will be clearly written, and it will be clear. Even as it stands now, if you go to some superstores and look at the labeling, you will still see some product clearly written, may contain or contain genetically engineered.
Those are the foreign products,
just
right?
2 weeks ago, we were in we yes, exactly. But in Nigeria, we have 3 crops, and they'll be commercial release, and they are labeled from the seed companies. But we now look at the open market, and that is what we are trying to strengthen to ensure that every Nigerian gets a choice before these crops becomes, really out there.
Okay. All right. So thank you. I wanted you to speak on ownership, and if you would give me a 2 minutes break, I will come back to you. Hopefully you can collect your thoughts on that. Lagos, we're off on a break. We'll be right back.
They have come everything to their own. It is possible to collect your bread and commercialize it. They wouldn't mind to do. There are unions in every sector. That body you call. I'm just hearing the name for the first time. This is a mumbo jumbo union.
But I think what no Nigerians saw coming would be this 5% petrol tax that's soon to begin.
In as much as I will pay that 500 naira, all the whole supporters of Tulumbu will pay that 5 naira. That's no problem.
Conversation never stops. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Information is all you need.
And that's all that matters.
99.3
Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
It's 2 o'clock.
The headline news on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Federal government issues flood alert for 11 states this week, while NIMET forecasts widespread thunderstorms and flash floods in parts of Adamawa, Taraba, and Gombe. President Tinubu launches trade reforms under AFCFTA to boost Nigeria's economy as the federal government realigns education agencies to improve teacher quality. Lagos and Ogun police chiefs strategize on Ember Month security. Schools reopen across Lagos for 2025-2026 academic year. Lagos begins week-long repairs on Ozumbambadiwe Road with nightly closures. Lagos police probe suspicious death of former Ondo governorship candidate Bamidele Akimboye. Resident doctors suspend strike, give federal government 2 weeks to meet demands. Petroleum marketers raid illegal dealers in Ogun for selling adulterated petrol. NDLEA busts a Ikorodu Scootches factory, seizes 6,000 bottles and 4.2 tons of cannabis. NDLEA arrests Indian businessman and 3 Nigerians with 2 million tramadol pills at Lagos Airport. Nigerian Air Force graduates 302 new military technicians to boost defense readiness, while Nigerian Defense Academy adopts AI and robotics in cadet training. Nigeria's crude oil export earnings fall by 11% despite higher production as Qatar hosts emergency Muslim leaders summit on Gaza crisis. Teen actor Owen Cooper makes history as youngest male Emmy winner. And Nigeria's Flying Eagles head to Under-20 World Cup in Chile without key foreign-based players. And that's all for now. It is back to the sunny side with Joyce right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Yvonne. Oh, hi, Phil. Thank you for your time.
Activate. We are radioactive on 99.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Joyce.
All right, so I want to thank my guests really for their commitment to time with us today on radio, and I would like to have Mr. Nwosu or maybe even Gloria herself, Mrs. Gloria, speak on ownership of the seeds and whether there are ethical concerns. Do you have any ethical concerns regarding the ownership of the genetically modified seeds?
Yeah, thank you so much for us back. I hope you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can. I'm with you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you. I can hear you clearly.
Okay. So let me even tell you that the PBR copy and the telomeres that was given approval to commercialize in Nigeria are purely royalty free. So people should understand that you are not getting back to pay anybody anything. You just go to the seed companies and buy if you feel that you need to reinvigorate your plantation, you go and buy. If you wish to continue to regrow the ones you have planted, you go and plant. For those who wish to plant, they are royalty free, okay. And we should understand that. And then secondly, let me now talk to you as a scientist and in terms of global setting. Even your conventional seed breeding are being breeded by scientists. Even in Nigeria, scientists breed most of this, and they are registered with the Seed Council, and that is the person's patent and oath. So there are, in different countries, there are several mechanisms to see how such people benefit from their own research. So that is by the way. But what I'm telling you is Nigeria is that the ones that has been commercialized are royalty free. And you are not indebted to anybody for your plant, and you can replant. I want to use this opportunity to call people, including some acclaimed agencies, who say they are we claim they are food safety and so, and without any office and without any authority in it, where we have people that read wildlife management coming to national TVs and be talking about genetically modified organisms that they don't know nothing about, and they will tell you that there is a GM watermelon which is not anywhere globally. So people should ask the right questions. Google with your phone. Understand the system. I viewed a program where some auntie was saying that it causes cancer. I said simply, connect to world records. There are WHO, there are FAO, you even mentioned EFSA. And I tend to disagree with you. EFSA is one of the global safety assessment protocols in the world who assesses GMO and also gives approval. And the assessments are also used globally. So you Google and see what is on the ground and what is on the ground. And somebody came up and I told somebody, insulin is GMO, genetic modification. Tromsin that helps to prevent clotting is also genetically modified. And this person that is telling you is not good, you know what he responded to? That he likes it. He likes GMO when it comes to health. And he doesn't like it when it comes to agriculture.
You know, I'm a little confused when you say insulin is genetic. Pardon me.
Somebody that is doing.
I'm a little confused when you say insulin is genetically modified. What do you mean? Just for the sake of comprehension here.
Yes. So what I mean is that the insulin we are using that has helped a lot of diabetic patients is a product of genetic modification, where you have bioengineered the E. coli to be able to mass produce the insulin. Any Nigerian can just Google it for more simpler understanding. So you put up your gene in E. coli and mass produce the E. coli to produce insulin. And that is what is being used, 90% of insulin. We have Tromsin, which prevents clotting. This one is what you engineer the goat cow milk to produce this, which is now used in medicine. So these are genetic modification. And people will tell you when you now eat food that we don't do assessment, that it gives you cancer. You now ask them, what of the insulin that people have been using globally? Has it been adjudged to have any cancer issue? They will not tell you, anyway, I think I will like it, but I won't like it in food. That is when the issue comes in.
The problem with this logic now is that
it means that you are working for somebody. Somebody is telling you to come and say the things you are saying. So these are the things I want to clear, and Nigerians should understand this process.
Okay, sir, the problem with this logic is that insulin resistance, a condition where the body's cells fail to respond properly to hormone insulin, must have been a creation of science. It's like someone creates a problem and then creates a solution. It's not something that I think just happened. Something must have given rise to it. I think it's also necessary, if we're going to look at these problems, we are saddled with the duty to look at it holistically. What brought about insulin resistance? And so yes, the applause for the foods insulin being genetically what's the word now, it escapes me, genetically modified, must also be as a function of it being created genetically by a genetic alteration. I just needed to say that, except you want to disagree. Otherwise, my final question to you.
Perhaps I am amazed when you say, but I understand, because you're a journalist and you are not a scientist. So I understand your views on that. And the issue of using insulin is a case of diabetics too, where the insulin in your body the pancreas is not producing enough insulin, and you have to resort to artificial insulin.
I heard you, but I think it's also the creation of science.
There is an ill health that required science to provide solution to it, and it has been used for how many years now? More than since 1980. So these are the people.
It's been used since 1980.
To understand the science, understand the.
Yeah, so it means in the 1950s, insulin probably wasn't a problem, or its resistance. In the 60s, it probably wasn't a health problem or a health concern. So I'm saying that some of the problems that we have can be traced to the alteration of environment, food, and whatever else is affecting human biology.
That is the essence. That is the essence of science. Science is to solve solutions. So before, people may be dying mysteriously without knowing what is killing them. Even up to today, there are things that has been happening, and the new science will come with the solution. And what you will understand is, that's why I say regulation is important. You don't take all innovations who can sing car. That is why you have regulation, institutions that regulate all these things. So and I gave instance, even you that is in the studio, you are being regulated by NBC. And it is funny when you hear some group of people that are not objective, they will come to media and tell you they came to a conference and see the product. You start laughing. And I gave information. Who is your major stakeholder? Everybody must be there to open up. We also have issues where some of them claim that our art, that they had, there's National Biotechnology Development Agency being member of the board is quite funny. Go and look at NAFDAC law. There is National Pharmaceutical that is equivalent to biotech people that promote it. They are in the board. There are manufacturers association. These are the real people. They are in the board. That is to tell you the people saying these things, they don't understand institutional governance. This board is not a decision-making body.
All right.
Even as it is situated in our own board. They are just guardians, government eye in these institutions. And they are there because they are stakeholders and partners of the system. So they are just stakeholders in the system. So people should be objective. People should understand how things are done and not misinforming and disinforming the public. Thank you.
I want to thank you. Miss Gloria, I want to get your final thoughts on today's conversation and what you believe moving forward would be the progression or the pace of progression. If you can hear me. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Joyce. I didn't get what you said.
Oh, sir, I said
Yes,
I wanted to give you
now.
I wanted to give you an opportunity to speak your final thoughts on moving forward, what the progression will be, the pace at which things could develop, and what Nigerians or how Nigerians pretty much can follow through on informing themselves with the advancing science, given that science is evolving every day.
All right, thank you so much, Joyce. So, be that as it may, I'd just like to urge Nigerians. National Biosafety Management Agency is an agency of government created to ensure the safety of this technology. And we are doing everything. We are the police of this technology. And we are doing everything. Best global practice to ensure that this technology is safe. Please, Nigerians, come to us. We are very open. We have our website. We have our social media handles at Biosafety NIG on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. Please search for us. You will get information on a daily basis. We post information, we pass information as much as we can. Anybody that needs clarifications, our website is there, our handles are there. Please come to us, ask us questions. We have a phone line which is always open, is active, always open, because we see the interest of Nigerians when it comes to GMOs, and we want to assure Nigerians that NBMA, we are not sitting on our arse. We are doing everything to ensure that Nigerians are safe. Whatever comes into the country, we have an enforcement department that go out every quarter to these superstores to check. When they see a product that may contain GMO, we pick it up and we test it, and we alert the importer. If it is not properly labeled, we alert the importer. We do all that. We do not sit on our ass. So please, Nigerians, trust us. We do not promote the technology. But we are after safety. Our bias is on safety. Safety is our bias. Like my colleague said, there were some technologies that did not see the light of the day in this country. The NBMA, when we saw it from the beginning, we stopped it. There were some people that came to us for permits, and when we looked at the risk assessment, they were not okay, we stopped it. It did not see the light of the day. There were some importations that came into the country. Immediately we were alerted. We have MOUs with customs, with National Agricultural Quarantine Service, with Seed Council, with border agencies. Once they alert us, we go there, we check. Once they contain GM, we repatriate back. We are working. So Nigerians, please help us to do our work. Help NBMA to do our work. Nigerians can also alert NBMA in case you see any product that made that you feel. Please contact us. Our phone numbers on our website, and it's always active. It's always open. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you so much, Mrs. Gloria Ogbaki and Mr. Nwosu. I want to thank you so much. I want to believe I have gotten quite a handful. I've gotten so much out of you today, and hopefully I can have you back soon to speak on the issues as they develop, affecting us as a people in this country. Thank you again, lady and gentlemen, for being today, for spending your day with me on the radio this afternoon.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nigerians, for listening, and we look forward to further engagement with the public. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Lagos, we're going to quickly go off on a break. We'll be right back. You're on the sunny side. My name's Joyce.
What's that station again? No.
Here's one thing you need to know about yourself. So like here we talk.
Yep, bullseye. That's the one. You're listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info's The Sunny Side. The Sunny Side. Welcome. My name's Joyce.
Okay, I want to get your reaction to the matters that you have heard, and I guess whether it's of your bias or your persuasion. Oh, I like this one. As a pharmacist, insulin pens are not for large communities like the foods we eat. Not everyone is diabetic. It was only an avenue for medical treatment, so let him answer thus out of food safety only. I'm sorry, I don't think I fully comprehend your question. I like I think I like the question, but I'm not sure what I think you mean. Not everyone is diabetic, right? So it was only an avenue of medical treatment. So let him answer thus out of food safety only. Could you help me out with this last sentence? I think you're trying to say something here that's very important. Even though he's gone, I can just forward the questions to them because, by the way, anybody wondered which... I have the things I want to tell you, but I think I want to let you speak first, and I can just wait. We're Nigeria Info, you are on the sunny side, and this is a very important observation that's been raised by this pharmacist, and I think that's even a very good place to begin. So if your foods, or if the genetically altered foods are already addressing insulin issues, is it addressing insulin as well in people who do not have... Can you see now? Because why are you medicating someone who doesn't need medication? Someone was asking me, is the agency regulating a produce or a product? I love that question. It's genius. And I think you know the answer to that. It looks like food, but it's a product. And don't be silly. There are things that you know, and I just would love for you to just educate yourself, and you take information from every quarter or all the quarters that provide information, and then you see what it equals out to. In the meantime, I want to hear your commentary so far in the conversation. 0201-2770-993, 0201-465, 0201-465-7190, and on WhatsApp 08095975805. Nigeria Info. Hello. Thank you so much for being on Nigeria Info this afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Joyce. This is Kenny.
Welcome, Ken.
Yeah, I do think these people that you brought, the gentleman and the lady, I really appreciate what, they really elucidated a lot on GMOs. But my mind was thinking concerning hybrid and GMOs, and he mentioned it and touched on it slightly. For without fear of being taught as a devil's advocate, my question is right now today. As we have a black person marry a white person, could that be considered GMO or hybrid? Because what they have done for me is that they've established a comfort level in my mind that this is just trying to make a better product. So thinking along those lines.
Hold on, wait. Pardon me. I'm so sorry. Let's go back. They're trying to do what? No, wait. Go back. Say it again. I want you to hear your...
What I said... is that they have really established...
No, not that part. I heard all of that. You said something about a better product. I want you to repeat that sentence.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, take for instance, a black person marries a white person.
No, I heard that. I wanted
Okay.
to. The
So
part
what
where
I'm
you
saying
said
is that, okay, what I understand is that for me, what I've established, to me, the comfort level is that GMO, for me, it seems as if they're making better products to accommodate food security. That's just what I'm thinking.
Do you want to believe that?
Well, I have a background in microbiology.
Do you want to believe that this is a better product or this is a better food?
Well, for food security purposes and to bring the best out of two products.
What is your insecurity problem?
Well, the food insecurity is that we're not growing enough to feed people. So
why? Why? I'm sorry, I don't mean to corner you. I think that you need to sit with your own thoughts so that you don't let someone else do your thinking for you. You already think that the genetically modified food, you think someone can design something better than prayer, than skin, than sex, like the night, like day? You think someone can design something better than your food? I want you to sit with your thoughts. Otherwise, someone else is using your brain. And just because you think you have a little bit of guarantee doesn't give you guarantee.
Well, I guess so. I would approach it with caution, but I mean, it's like I'm just looking at it from a different perspective in thinking about it along that trajectory. So that's just what I wanted to share. Now, another thing I also wanted to ask you
30 seconds, honey.
Huh?
30 seconds.
Okay. A lion and a tiger combo that produce a liger which cannot be, reproduced. In other words, a liger cannot reproduce itself. Would also be considered genetically modified?
What do you
or
think?
A hybrid. So I was hoping, I could have asked him that question as well. And then that's your kitty that you encountered. I thought you would have asked him about it.
Thank you so much for
the one
calling.
that cooks real stuff.
But you wanted to get comfortable. You told me that you felt a little bit of comfort.
No, I just wanted to ask those questions so that I will further establish my comfort level. But that's it. I'm a daring person just by nature.
I don't think eating poison is a sport. But thank you so much for calling me. I do appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Nigeria Info, you're on the sunny side. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Joyce.
Good afternoon to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon. Monica from Pestac.
Okay.
I just want to say, in view of the last caller, that we don't actually have food insecurity problem in Nigeria. What we have is problem of moving food produced in rural areas to urban areas for farmers to command better results, to be able to keep producing. We don't have capacity to add value to the primary food we produce, to keep them in some other forms. We don't have storage system, refrigeration system. These are in some other countries. These are systems they keep food and make them available off season. We don't have them. Government are not investing. GMO are private sector products that are being introduced, and surprisingly, government agencies are promoting it. It's just like ENZO. Government agencies are working on ENZO, and ENZO is sponsoring some of the things that are going there. Of course, ENZO is already buying in.
All right. Well, I have to be off on a break.
You understand? There's a bit of confusion there, but
don't get confused, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. Lagos, we're going to go off on a break. We'll be right back.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Attention, secondary schools in Lagos. Season 9 of the I Beg to Differ Secondary Schools Debate Tournament is coming this November. And this time, the battle for secondary schools with ultimate bragging right is officially on. Do you have what it takes to go head-to-head with the brightest young minds in Lagos? Can your school rise to the challenge and claim the crown? Then this is your moment. The I Beg to Differ Secondary Schools debate is calling your school. Registration opens September 1 and closes September 30. Registration for the I Beg to Differ Season 9 is school-based, only for schools. So gather your team and secure your spot early. To register, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Click on the I Beg to Differ debate banner on the homepage. Fill out the registration form and hit submit. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
Every day is about winning with one play on Nigeria Info. On Nigeria Info, daily winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
The conversations you hear on Nigeria Info.
And of course, a senator from Borno State, Senator Alim Dume, all are outraged over the killings that happened over the weekend in Borno State.
Both UN and United Nations, all of them are chokers because all of them know the problem of this country. They know how it starts. All of them are involved.
These people, of course, Nigeria, I don't think they have the interest of Nigeria at heart. As far as they are concerned, Nigeria is a business enterprise, and they are only interested in milking the country.
The Lagos APC has denied claims that it's actually attacked ADC members in Alimo.
Even if you're not pointing fingers to the APC, the police should swing in to find out who did this, right?
Conversation never stops. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Think back to the first time you thought think back to the very first person who taught you how to read. The person who believed in you when no one else absolutely did. The one who showed
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it